Guys, first off, my name is Silent Mike Farr. Today, bless you. A lot of allergies here in Sacramento. You guys are calling me drippy nose. I appreciate it, all right? I understand you're paying attention to my nose and the drips coming out. This is the city of trees, it's allergy season. Both Connor and I are suffering, all right? Bear with us, bear down. Today we want to talk about cardio. I want to appreciate the millions and millions of supporters and feedback we get from Kaizen, but we get some common questions, so I thought I'd cover them here. For those in our newsletter, if you want to get involved, it's in the description below. For those on the YouTube channel, appreciate you. Give this thing a thumbs up. We're going to talk about high intensity interval training, HIIT. It is a common buzzword, but it's a great effective way to get a little bit of cardio, a little extra burn in. So main differences here when we're talking about low intensity cardio, high intensity cardio, or kind of moderate. A couple basic ways to define them. Low intensity in my head means that you can kind of hold a conversation, you are breathing heavy, but you can hold a conversation, you can also hold that pace for 20, 30, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour plus, depending on the shape you're in. High intensity cardio has to be done in intervals because you're going so freaking hard on such exercise as you're going. You can maybe only go 10, 20, or 30 seconds. So that's kind of the main definitions. Now, when and how to use them, there is some research coming out that maybe shows when you're doing high intensity interval trainings that you're more likely to, one, either convert type 1 to type 2 muscle fibers. Type 2 muscle fibers are the more explosive, kind of the strong ones, kind of the jump fast, be quick muscles, while the type 1 is kind of a muscle endurance type muscle. So there may be some benefits there. Two, the other benefit would be time. You can get done a really high intensity interval training session in 10, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour if you're in really good shape, depending on the exercise. And then I guess maybe just 2. There's other benefits, but low intensity cardio, another benefit maybe it's obviously lower impact most of the time. You can do an elliptical or even just walk, so your joints don't suffer as bad. I guess the negative then would be you could need a little bit more time to burn those calories. And then 3, it is not necessarily as anabolic per se than high intensity cardio. Now, some of my favorite high intensity cardios for you guys that are on some of our Kaizen fat loss programs or on your own journey, whatever it may be, or you just want to get in a little bit better shape, any kind of sprint. So I particularly like some kind of a sled sprint, a hill sprint, or an assault bike. I like those because there's some type of resistance, so you're less likely to get injured. You're less likely to pull a hamstring when you're kind of running against resistance with the sled or uphill. I think the resistance, if you find the right sled and weight in the hill, it obviously remains the same, but you can either add more rounds or you can add more load, meaning going further on the hill or finding a steeper hill or literally adding more weight on the sled to progress. And it just like every other training we do with a barbell or whatever it may be, the goal should always be to progress. If you're doing 3 sets at 10 seconds for the rest of your life, you're not getting any better and your body will adjust to that stimulus and you won't improve both cardiovascular or the calorie burn that we're going for. So what's a basic breakdown? It kind of depends on your fitness and it kind of depends on how hard you can go, because the more power output you put, depending on the exercise, obviously you can't do as much. And if you're in better shape, you can do a little bit more. But good basic place to start is 20 to 30 seconds all out. And when I mean all out is you're really pushing yourself to your absolute limit. Let's erase that. A really good basic protocol for any high intensity interval training is, one, you got to choose the exercise. It could be a kettlebell, it could be an elliptical, assault bike, sled sprint, hill sprint, something of that nature, even running stairs. Those are some of my favorites. Let's get a nice easy warm up in. So maybe 5 to 10 minutes, just nice easy kind of jog or walk to get general warm up. From there, basic protocol. We want anywhere from 5 to even all the way up to maybe 15 rounds, 20 seconds to 30 seconds, all out. And when I mean all out, I mean absolutely all out, everything you got into that sprint or into that on time. Then we're gonna take about a minute to a minute and 30 fully off or moderate, depending on the exercise. So if you're doing sled sprints, what you can do is sprint all out for 20 seconds, and then you could walk maybe a lap to recover and then sprint again. If you're doing a hill, a good way is to sprint all the way up as hard as you can and then walk maybe down and then rest at the bottom. If you're on an assault bike, sprint as hard as you can, 20, 30 seconds, and then just cruise for another minute, minute 30. We want to repeat this process 5 to, again, 15 times. If you're newer, maybe do 20 seconds on, 130 off, 3 to 5 rounds, and then every 2 to 3 weeks try to bump that up, whether it means you're going harder on the sprint, shorter on the recovery, or upping the rounds. Again, if you're in really good shape and you're doing a sled sprint or a hill, you can add a load, you can add distance, you could find a steeper hill, something like that. Those are the ways we progress in this. And I guess the goal for everything is progressive overload. So you don't want to just do the same routine over and over. We need to add some kind of stimulus, and with sprints that has to be longer work periods, shorter rest periods, or even harder loads or higher intensities. And the faster and better shape you get, the harder you'll be able to push. So make sure you're really pushing yourself all out the entire time. Ladies and gentlemen, Silent Mike on this one. Just a quick topic, a quick high intensity breakdown. Hopefully you guys can help you out in your general fitness, getting in better shape, fat loss, whatever it is, becoming more explosive. Appreciate you. Give this thing a thumbs up, share with your friends. Silent Mike, I'm out of here.